Hi everyone! Choosing a university is a really difficult decision. You're going to be studying there and living there for at least 3 years. So, how do you choose? First of all, I would really recommend going to open days. First of all, it really gives you a vibe of the place. I know that sounds really weird, but some of the universities felt a bit cold, a bit boring maybe, I don't really know how to describe, whereas others I felt really at home, like I could study there. So at York they had a big lake and greenery, and that was really cool for me. But the main thing that I found out when I went to open days is that I do not like campus universities. So York, Sussex, Birmingham are examples of campus universities, and I really did not like them. I sort of found that they were a bit like a boarding school in that it's just one place full of students where you live and work. Some of them even had a supermarket there for students, they had doctors for students, and it just felt quite peninsular, I think is the right word, just enclosed. And these campus universities are also generally quite far out from the inner city or inner town. So you might have to take, for example, a 15-minute bus journey to the centre, which doesn't seem like that much, but could I be bothered to go there and back on a bus every single time I want to go out? Not really. Whereas I thought the city universities were really cool, you're right in the centre, where like the action is, and it's not just students, there are other people too, and I think that just feels a bit more like the actual world rather than like a middle way point between sixth form and job, if that makes sense. I don't think that makes sense, but whatever. Also, open days are really useful because you can talk to students. Obviously they're going to be a bit biased because they're representing their university, so they're not going to say, oh yeah, it's awful, but some of them, probably most of them, will be quite honest, and they might even say bad things. If you go to an open day, ask people questions, and you do get lots of information. Like for example, at Bristol I got this massive prospectus thingy that just has all the different subjects and modules in it. For example, I got a map from York, very helpful. An English literature guide thing. Meet our staff, so it tells you what the teachers are like. Yeah, definitely ask as many questions as possible. I do regret that at some of the open days I got a bit tired and I didn't really make the most of it. I didn't go to any lectures, for example, at Bristol, and I wish I had. But at the end of the day, what mattered more for me was the feel of the place and whether it was campus or city, rather than you know, going to the lectures. Often you can find out that information online, but if you can't be bothered to search online, definitely go to those lectures. Another thing that you have to take into consideration is entry requirements. So for English, most Russell Group universities require 3 A's. Durham requires A-star AA. So the universities I applied to were Sheffield, Birmingham, Bristol, Oxford and York. Obviously I applied to Oxford because of the prestige and because it would have been such an opportunity career-wise, education-wise, to have got an offer from there, but unluckily I was rejected. But also I think that was a blessing in disguise as well, because I much preferred the city of Bristol to the town of Oxford. Oxford felt a bit white, a bit boring, a bit small, but Bristol was a bit more trendy, you know, and cool. So yeah, I put Birmingham down as my second choice, even though I said that I didn't like campus universities and I wasn't a huge fan of Birmingham, but it has close ties with Stratford where Shakespeare was born, so that would be good for English. Also, Birmingham's requirements are A, B, whereas, for example, York, which I preferred, was 3As. And there's no point putting down your insurance and firm with the same entry requirements, because obviously you're going to go to your first one if you get the grades. So another thing to look at is league tables. Loads of sites do league tables, so you can look online. The Guardian has a good one, and I would really recommend looking at league tables for your subject, so not just overall, because overall, for example, I don't know, Oxford might be first or Cambridge might be first, but in English, Durham is first. In a different subject, UCL might be first. That's something really to consider. And then another thing which universities do, which is quite nice, is they can like send you a congratulations on getting your offer sort of thing. So York sends golden tickets, which I found really cute. And that might be even a reason to go. If you're not sure and all the universities seem the same, if one of them sends you a golden ticket and you really don't care which one you go to, you might as well just go to that one. And I think they sent me a Christmas card as well, so that was cute. It says, "You are exceptional" on it. Came in a card holder thing. Another thing to be aware of is unconditional offers. So from Birmingham, I got pretty much an unconditional offer. They said something like 3Cs, which is actually a really low offer for a Russell Group university. But I couldn't take up that unconditional offer because I put it as second place, 2As and a B instead of 3Cs. But an unconditional offer could really persuade you to put it as first place. So my friend got an unconditional from Lancaster. He wanted to go to Lancaster and he put it as his first place. And now he can get into Lancaster with whatever grade. I'm so jealous and I wish I had that for Bristol. I found that accommodation was quite similar at most universities. A lot of the universities have quite small rooms, basic furniture. Actually, at Oxford, the accommodation was the worst I've seen of all the unis. Nearly all my friends and I had really not nice rooms. Not even just basic, but just like ugly decor, ugly wallpaper, ugly carpets, whereas lots of different universities have really nice, new, modern accommodation. And actually, accommodation is something I've been finding really difficult to choose between at the moment, because I'm going to have to apply for accommodation at Bristol soon, and there are so many choices. And that's another thing about a lot of city universities actually. If you like the campus feel, you could go to accommodation that's further away from the city. So at Bristol they have accommodation that sort of looks like an Oxford quad. And I feel like that would create quite a strong community between students. But I think I want to go to accommodation that's in the centre to really be among the nightlife and stuff. Anyway, I hope you found that helpful and I'll post another video soon. Bye!